Good morning, everybody. Thanks for the introduction. My name is Airhiavbere. Just a quick question, and I think this will be good for all future speakers. Quick poll. How many operators in the room? All right, got a couple operators. Services companies? Software? Other? Okay, great, thanks. That's very helpful, just to give a sense of who's in the room. So like she said, my role is to be a liaison to the industry and to bring Intel back to Microsoft to help adjust and really help the industry. So we're going to try to land two messages. I'll talk a bit and then I'll take a seat and hand it over to my colleague Tibor. But the key messages we want to land are, one, to really inspire, right? To inspire the oil and gas industry to drive digital transformation. We'll do that by sharing a bit about our story and how we position ourselves in the oil and gas industry. The other message we want to land is really the capabilities of how Microsoft helps the industry. So part of that is through partners. The other is through just our internal capabilities. And the danger with these conferences is sometimes they're borderline sales pitches. So we'll do our best to really sort of focus on the industry and really focus on your needs. So has anybody read, let's see, so go here. Has anybody read Satya's book, Hit Refresh? Has anybody read that? So in the book, Satya talks about our story. Microsoft a couple years ago was really a stale brand, right? So it went through the challenge of that a lot of startups and tech firms go through. You go in full of steam and run into just challenges. And so we went through that. And one of the ways that we channeled our energy internally is through empathy. So just truly having empathy for ourselves, first of all, internally, each other, each of the divisions. There was this great cartoon, well, not so great internally, but it showed different Microsoft divisions sort of pointing guns at each other, and it kind of went viral. And part of that sort of really resonated with Satya, and he said, hey, we have to have empathy for each other. And so looking at the oil and gas industry, that's how we've approached it. And the kind of three things that we do. So firstly, we have our mission. Our mission is to empower every individual and every institution. And so that's where sort of our umbrella message for empathy comes through. So we do that by helping with your operations. We do that, and so operations meaning supply chain, ERP. We've heard a couple examples too, just around how you can optimize your operations using digital. Second is around your employees. So I believe Bradley mentioned a couple examples around how the industry is going through a challenge. There are fewer people entering the industry. A lot of people have left the industry. So how do you help really to empower people? So I think Gilles shared an example of sort of the digital work practice. So using Microsoft technology, for example, to drive not just productivity, but knowledge management within the organization. So there are many ways to empower sort of the employee. And then the final piece is around just revenue generation, helping companies improve their revenue generation model. An example that comes to mind, we have a lot of companies that do things internally that really work well, and they decide that they want to scale that out into the market, and we help them build a platform to do so. So speaking about the platform, our platform is the intelligent cloud. That is what we do. And there are kind of three facets and pillars of that. So one is the Internet of Things. So connecting your assets to the cloud to get insights. So that is the base foundation. The second is machine learning. So how do you use those insights to really anticipate whether it's predictive maintenance or other things around production to help your business. And then finally, artificial intelligence. And I was thinking, as I was listening to Gilles' example about using subsurface in AI, that was just a classic example. And so kind of working from the top right to the bottom, the holy grail is AI. And so kind of thinking of the subsurface AI example Gilles was talking about, you have an industry that's losing people. And if you think about an operator, what they do is, they drill holes in the ground and they make decisions, right? So if you're losing all your engineers, you, in the long term, need a strategy to bring all that knowledge into the organization safely, regardless of whether you have people or not. So if you have AI that can help you sort of make those prescriptive decisions, go in and identify pay zones strategically, that's what AI does. That's where it's high value, it's very hard. And so we've built a platform, an AI platform, to help with that. Further down to the middle, that's where a lot of us are, in that sort of, I would say, predictive analytics phase, where if for example, you have a pumping unit and you're simply trying to anticipate when it's going to maybe crater or have an issue, that's where you have sort of medium value, but also medium difficulty. And we help a lot of clients in that space where they're trying to leverage the intelligent cloud there. And then all the way down to the bottom left, that's where we're trying to inspire a lot of the industry to get out of that phase. So in an earlier role, while I was with another employer, I operated a lot in that space, right? So that's where you connect your assets, and then you get somebody like me or one of my past peers to come in and help you with your gas turbine. So you might be running an LNG plant somewhere in Equatorial Guinea or somewhere in Angola. We come in and we help you plan your preventative maintenance. So if you find yourself in that bottom left, what's it going to take to move to the right side, right? To move from the bottom left to the right. And so when I get this question, the first question I ask is, well, let me answer your question with a question. What levers do you want to pull? Do you want to pull the revenue lever? Do you want to pull the people lever? Or do you want to pull the operations lever? Okay? And so then we also encourage, and I'm giving this example to help as you think about, as an industry, how you drive digital transformation. We'll share how we do it. So we invite you over to Redmond. I'm based in Redmond for this reason. So I moved from Houston to Redmond because pretty much every week I host about 3 oil companies and services companies and other tech firms engaged in the oil and gas industry. We'll spend 2 to 3 days together, open up the organization, invite our productivity teams, AI teams, engineering teams, and really just share very openly and with a lot of empathy what we're seeing in the tech space, in the oil and gas space. We'll bring sometimes our retail business and other groups to come in and just share what they're seeing. A lot of that inspires that bottom left activity. And sometimes there are customers who are in the middle or in the top right and just want to do more, but it inspires a lot of motivation to move to the top right. The next step is our envisioning session. So that's when you head back home to Houston or Amsterdam or London, and our local teams there come in and spend 2 to 3 days with these clients and zone in on focus areas. So my colleague from Accenture talked a bit about the challenge of POCs and how there is a challenge there, right? Because they can go stale, and really, if you're going to do those, there has to be a focus on a bigger theme. And that's what we do with the envisioning sessions. We walk away with a couple ideas, and we turn those into POCs and help customers implement those, but with the broader themes, right? So they're connected to levers, whether it's employee levers, or revenue generation levers, or operations. And then we scale, okay? So once there are a couple POCs that are proven, we scale to the next level. So I've talked a bit about how we see digital transformation. So we'll talk a bit about just really how we execute through partners. And a lot of these names resonate with you, right? So they're either you guys or, and I apologize, this isn't an exhaustive list. I know we partner with a lot of you all in the room here. Just there isn't enough room on the slide. And we've been lucky to have global companies, small tech firms that want to partner with us because they feel that our platform offers them the opportunity to scale their value proposition. So I'll give an example of one of these partners, Iconics. So this is a very recent example of what we partnered with Iconics to do on Hess. And Iconics is well known for they historize data, they analyze it, and they're known for really having a skill set for bringing data together. And this example, we pulled all three levels, and I'll walk through them. So the first one is operations. So Hess runs a field of pumping units, and they wanted to operationalize those pumping units. So they had the standard automation box, things like that, but they wanted to do sort of something that was kind of in the middle, right? So more around being able to get insights from those pumping units, build an algorithm that helps them anticipate when something might happen. So with Iconics, we were able to build a platform that provided that. So that's the operations lever. The revenue lever, obviously, when your pumping units don't have issues or you're able to anticipate an issue, your revenue model stays constant. Your flow of production continues. You don't have challenges with, at least minimal challenges, with your ability to deliver on your business model. And then finally, the employee lever. So I was thinking about it was the connected room example that Gilles was talking about. So very similar here. Bringing data from multiple wells into one room is a huge value to the organization and its employees. So whether it's employees who are learning the industry, and we have a lot in our industry who are new and trying to learn with limited tools, and also just for the organization to be able to bring that information to the employees, to empower them to be successful and make better decisions. Fewer visits out to the field, fewer opportunities to get injured. So that's how we pulled the employee sort of lever there. So I've talked a bit about inspiration in the digital transformation space in oil and gas. Talked a bit about sort of executing through partners. I'll hand it over to Tibor to take it from here.